After 40 years of holding primary elections, this year is entirely different for Democrats, as gubernatorial team Carl Gutierrez and Frank Uggan will go unchallenged at the September polls. As the duo stump fellow Democrats for the legislative primaries and prepare themselves for the general election, unfinished business remains on the table. But Senator Frank Uggan isn't beating around the bush on the road to Adelup.
At the very beginning, it was a challenge. At the very beginning, it was a tremendous challenge being able to bring our family members together. But what you see before you today, ladies and gentlemen, fruits of our labor, but we are not done, because we're going to try to make sure that we bring every single person into the fold so that we can all support Team Guam up on the stage.
The Democratic Party of Guam is still suffering battle scars from the 2006 general election, when Uggan was running mate to longtime Guam Congressman Robert Underwood, then gunning for governor. In a rabid fight to the finish that deeply divided the island's Democratic politics and pitted clan against clan, the pair defeated Carl Gutierrez and Senator B.J. Cruz in the party primary, but lost the general to a mostly united Republican Party that year. Now, once bitter opponents have reunited for a common cause.
Well, he's the glue that brought us together. And no, really, seriously. When we decided that that Carl was going to run again, I told him the only one that could possibly bring this party together would be to bring Frank on board. And you can see today that it's worked out really well. Everybody's come out, and I'm really happy about that.
With their bid for Adelup, Gutierrez and Uggan have brought together what are widely considered the party's biggest factions, acknowledging that olive branches are still in order.
It hasn't exactly healed. I think with everyone that has shown up and who have attended a number of our functions, it's healed on their end. But we still have some work to do. There are a number of individuals out there. But you know, one thing about it, it's about making sure that we are able to get together at the right time so that, in fact, everyone understands why we're here. Today was an incredible crowd. You looked at everyone. If you saw everyone on the stage, the Democratic candidates, I think it tells you something. That this is no longer only about Gutierrez Uggan. It's no longer only about putting our agenda up forward. It's about the Team Democrat pushing the people's agenda and making sure that we hold hands, get to Adelup, and get to the legislature.
But the healing process doesn't start and end with Uggan. Although Amanda Santos and Vince Akimoto recently announced they will not carry out previous plans to challenge Gutierrez Uggan in the Democratic primary, they're still disappointed that no one is challenging Gutierrez Uggan while party divisions remain.
It definitely is broken. In my attempts to try to find out if there are any other leaders besides the Gutierrez Uggan team, which they have great leaders. They have great people, wonderful families. I mean, just unfortunately we can't work together. There are some issues that they hold important that we do not. You know, we've got a lot of really important indigenous right issues that need representation, and the time is passing before we turn into a community that doesn't recognize its own.
Finding no hope for representation among fellow Democrats, Akimoto has actually announced his support for a Republican campaign.
I personally am announcing that I will support wholeheartedly the Calvo Tenorio team.
Now, although Gutierrez Uggan may officially sail through the primaries unopposed this September, internal mending is undoubtedly on their agenda.